Hello, dear ones, and greetings from All Saints Orthodox Church, South Bloomington, Indiana. Father Peter John here. Christ is risen. I wanted to talk today briefly about a psalm, just actually one line from a psalm that we hear during Matins on Sunday mornings. It's Psalm 63, and the line says, "Under the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice." It's a beautiful line, but I wonder how many times, there's the reading of so many different psalms, 6 back to back in that section of Matins, that I wonder how many times we just pass over that line and don't give it a lot of thought. It's like we don't have a lot of time to give it a lot of thought because the service keeps moving on. So what does that line mean? Well, when I was thinking about it yesterday, I heard it being read in Matins, and I thought about a scene from a movie called Unbroken. And I don't recommend everybody go see the movie. It's a very, very difficult movie to watch. But there is one scene, the very end of the movie, where all of these prisoners of war in World War II are being led out, presumably, to meet their end, right? And they're all these guards are surrounding them. They're being led out to this place of execution. And they all know it, and they in the movie anyway, they all look very, very scared, but they realize what's coming. And as they are there and they're marching to their end and they're following these orders, there's the sound of engines buzzing in the distance overhead. And the cinematography is beautiful. Angelina Jolie did a gorgeous job directing this movie, because as they are all standing there and there is the expectation of their demise, and then there is this hum of engines in the background. All of a sudden, there is this giant shadow coming overhead. It's the shadow of the wings of these huge American and Allied planes coming to set the prisoners free. It's such an amazing moment of cinematography, and it gives you so much hope in that moment, because throughout this movie, you've been suffering with those who were captive. Now, for us, obviously, in the time of Christ, in the Old Testament, the time of the Psalms, they weren't referring to Allied bombers and things like this. But there were two different things you can think about when you think about the shadow of wings in the days of the psalmist. You would either have the shadow of a bird of prey, right, flying overhead, and you look and there are these kind of circling birds, maybe scavengers or birds that are looking for small animals and things like this. This is the kind of thing that gives you a little bit of pause, almost that there's a sense of danger there. But the kind of picture that's being given unto us in this psalm is the idea that there is a protector flying overhead. And that the Lord's wings, that as he covers in the sky between the sun and the ground, and there is a shadow cast, that there is not this sense of fear, that there is some kind of a predatory thing going on, but rather that there is a protective thing going on, much like this scene from the end of that movie that I referred to before, Unbroken. So that is what is being given to us, is this picture that with our God, that we have this great protector, this overseer, who is watching over us, who has a bird's eye view from above and looks down upon us as a protector to keep us safe. It's a beautiful thing. All of the Psalms are filled with this kind of stunning imagery. There's this word, Selah, right? S-E-L-A-H, as it is probably spelled in your Bible. And if you look through the Psalms, sometimes you'll see this word, it says Selah. It means stop and ponder this, consider this. It's easy to kind of read through the Psalms quickly and miss some of the nuggets as we go through the Psalms. But if we take that opportunity to read them contemplatively and reflectively and really try to understand what is the Lord gifting to us in each and every line, then it will make our spiritual life all the more rich, and it'll help us to know all the more who it is that we serve.